Hey everybody, good morning. It's Ben, a secular progressive homeschool dad in Virginia. I just wanted to say a couple quick things about Governor Gavin Newsome. So it is super exciting to see someone trolling back at Trump amidst his attempted fascist takeover of our country. I think it's awesome. I love that we're seeing the governor of our largest state and the governor of, I think if it were its own country, the estimates are that it would be like the fourth largest economy in the world. So I think that is awesome, and I love it. And if in this moment we need a Gavin Newsom-shaped politician to be the foil or the weapon and really push back against Donald Trump and the Christo-fascists, I think that that is fantastic. Excuse me, but let's not forget, or maybe if we don't know, let's learn a little bit more about Gavin Newsom. And again, I think it's great that he's trolling Trump. I think it's great that he is launching lots of legal challenges. And I think the fight for redistricting, the redistricting wars that are going on, I think it's good. I think that Democrats need to stop bringing a wet noodle to a knife or a gunfight. So I think all that is great. I love kind of the epic trolling that his comms team is doing, excuse me, against Trump. I think all that is fantastic. Keep it up. But again, just let's not become so enamored with the fact that we finally have somebody pushing back, which would not be hard given how just abysmal and how obviously not up to the moment Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are. So it's great to find leadership where we can, but let's just keep in mind or learn more about Gavin Newsom's history. And I'm not going to go through it all here. For me, watching him tear apart those homeless people's encampments, I think it was late last year, midsummer, horrifying, mortifying, monstrous behavior, monster person. Hey, real quick here, one thing I wanted to insert that I forgot to mention when I was telling you about when I think of Gavin Newsom. It's not enough the glee that he took in destroying the meager belongings of homeless people that I find so repulsive. But also don't forget that when he launched his podcast, his first 2 or 3 guests, his first guest was Charlie Kirk, and his second or third guest was Steve Bannon. Why? If your political instincts are to invite those folks to a serious conversation, your political instincts are terrible. I think that was much more about kind of chasing the opportunity for maybe people have an appetite for this sort of bipartisanship. That's bullshit. That's the wrong take. You need to be much more like Mehdi Hassan with his Jubilee debate. We don't debate fascists. There is no seat at the table for people with those views. Those people get shunned. Okay, back to the video. Sometimes you need a monster to fight another monster. It's kind of like the South Park movie bit, you get dicks, assholes, and pussies, okay? Sometimes you need a dick because, anyhow, it's a very important, critical moment in the film. But Newsom has also vetoed a bunch of progressive legislation, from expansions of Medicaid, of immigration reform, some things about holding insurance, medical insurance companies to account. I'm drawing a blank, but there's a lot. Current Affairs actually has a really nice article about it. So just something to think about. It's fine to be happy that we have somebody fighting against someone we oppose. I think that's great. But in terms of, I love Gavin Newsom. I can't get enough of him. He's so handsome and he's so great. And he's just doing these epic trolls and it's great. Those things are useful, but when the dust settles and we are in a post-Trump world, we are going to need people who have genuine progressive values, who have a moral core to fix a lot of this stuff, to make right what has been done, to make right the wrongs that have been done against us and our nation and our allies and our immigrants. So I would just encourage folks to look more into him and to maybe be a little more circumspect. I know that as Americans, I myself do this, have done this, but I'm trying to think about raising a child who has better political instincts and a better understanding of the political process, not the government process that we identify as, I'm just a bill, like the Schoolhouse Rock stuff, but a kid who actually understands about coalitions and coalition building. And this is not some argument about purity politics and and throwing babies out with bathwater. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it behooves us to have a more sophisticated understanding of what an elected official is really likely to do. And so, yeah, let's use Newsome as much as possible. Let him go and do what he can to disrupt, the Gestapo in the streets and the fascist takeover. But when the dust settles, let's make sure we find someone who has a moral core, who's been on the right side of history regarding Gaza, and who represents real values. And you need that moral commitment, I think, because you need someone who is willing to push for things that we are going to need, structural reforms. And a guy who has so much more in common with the tech bros and the billionaires who want to make all of us basically medieval peasants, is not necessarily someone that I'm going to have a lot of confidence in when it comes time to fixing these things. So I think he's great for the moment. That's great. And, he could change my mind. But I just would encourage folks to be a little more circumspect. I think it's great. Go, keep up the trolling. The comms team is doing a good job. Keep up the legal fights where we can. And it's great to have someone who will get down and dirty in the mud with Trump. I think it's great. But when the dust settles, I don't think we should just, like, great, it's Newsome. He's the one. He's going to be the Democratic nominee for everything, and it's going to be awesome. Just let's try and be a little more circumspect. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I actually do have a video that I'm working on about more homeschool stuff, but this was on my mind this morning, so that's what I'm talking about. I hope wherever you are, whatever you're up to, you're doing well. I left my book over there, but the book I'm reading is still Walter Mosley's 12 Steps Towards Political Revelation. Great book, highly recommended. Really short. You could read it in a lunch. I have a toddler, and so it's taken me a long time. Longer than a lunch, but highly recommended. Okay, talk to you later.